Hello everybody, it's Caitlin here. Today I am making a beach theme soap favor. It's a custom order. So right now I'm doing the heat transfer method. And I just ran up my stairs to get away from my kids and the dogs. So I'm out of breath. I should have calmed down for a couple minutes before I started recording. So anyways, I am mixing this all up and pouring it into 3 separate colors. I just need to breathe. Okay. And I marked the containers with like a dry erase marker before I poured the soap into them. So I'm using a really bright blue mica. And that will be the darkest blue that'll be at the bottom of my ombre gradient style soap situation. And then this is 2/3 of my fragrance. So I'm just splitting 1/3 off into there and 1/3 off into the other color. And blending it all up. Mixing, mixing, mixing. Okay, so there's my first blue layer. And now I am pouring white into the blue and mixing that up. And that'll be my second layer. And I made sure to use a fragrance that's kind of set up quickly, so that it would help me with the layers. It's actually a combination of clean linen and blue agave from Nature's Garden. It's like a 50-50 of those two fragrances, so it smells really clean. There's my third layer. And my fourth layer, which this is the last blue layer before I just put the white on it. And the white is supposed to represent like the foam that kind of bubbles up as the water goes over the sand. And so it's okay if it's not a super thick layer. It just needs to exist. Normally when you do a beach themed soap, you kind of do the sand at the bottom and then just like do an in the pot swirl with blue and white. But I wanted this to be more scenic and have kind of like, I didn't want to just like put the shells on top of my soap floating on water. So I wanted them to be on sand. So that's why I kind of did it backwards. Started with the water, then the sand on top. But it's as if you're standing, and looking out at the waves coming in. So I add walnut shell powder and a bronze mica, and then my fragrance. And see how that's already set up? And it's been a matter of 5 minutes. And this sets up so quickly. In a good way, if you're prepared for it. And then there are my seashells that I made with clear and white melt and pour. And I added different color micas and mixed the clear and white together. And I did a bunch of little batches because I only had a couple silicone molds. So I had to do like 10 batches just to get enough to cover the soap. But it took like probably an hour to make all of these seashells. And I have this part of the video at ×4 speed. The rest of the video I have at ×2 speed, so that you're just not sitting there watching me make soap for an hour. I had like 30 something minutes recorded and I got it narrowed down to 11 minutes and 8 seconds. Because I was getting bored even watching it. But I kept all of this part in so that you could see everything that I was doing. And right now, like my goal with the soap was to basically try to get a variety of color onto every bar and try to at least get one full shell on every bar. So I really scattered them around and have those really tiny shells with the larger shells. So it really worked out in the final bar. I think the person who ordered it will really enjoy these bars. It's for like a women's retreat situation. And that is edible glitter and some alcohol. And there's the top. I really like the lighter white shells. I think those look really nice. And there it is. I cut it into the loaves from the slab. And I really like the way it came out. I really like the colors. And it turned out better than I thought it would with my kind of last minute plan. I made all of those embeds immediately before making the soap. So I kind of just went with the flow. And I kept most of the cutting in the video just because I felt like it. And I can. So I did. And you get a little cross section of that shell. But as you can see, there's like those little tiny shells mixed in, and you can see them. And I think this just turned out really fun. I think the ladies will love it. It was really fun to make. I haven't made a soap like this in a long time. I've actually never made a soap like this. But just like a more of a designed soap I haven't made in a while. But this was lots of fun. And I'm really, really excited. This has shea butter, cocoa butter, and castor oil, grapeseed oil, rice bran, palm oil, and coconut oil in it. So it's going to be a really moisturizing bar. Really creamy, yet bubbly. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. I have lots of sample slices. So those will be going out in my orders. They needed 35 bars, and I got 38 out of this batch with how I cut them. So they're cut at 3/4 of an inch each, and they're about 3 inches tall and 2.5 inches wide. They're all so unique. And this last bar that I cut has a full shell on it, which I think is just so much fun. I would love to get that bar. Just cleaning up the edges. And this is the last loaf out of the 3. If I did more planning and it didn't thicken up as fast as it did, I would have probably done more layers. But you know, I think it turned out fine for what I did, and it all worked out. Some of the shells from a distance look real. Probably not the pink ones. I figured I'd have fun with it. And there it is. I ordered a footprint soap stamp, but it hasn't come in yet, so hopefully by the time it comes in, the soap won't be too hard to stamp it, because it's going to be like the footprints in the sand. So we will see if that works out. I don't know. And I'll clean up those little shells that kind of curled up or broke off. And there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.